Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Major Story 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Sally?
What's up?
Okay, so I got to see the Doctor Falls, like everybody else, and I'm gonna go with Chris first. Chris, we've been talking about this for ages. We called a lot of the stuff, didn't we?
Yeah. I think everybody from Mike D, myself. I think everybody, Scott. I think everybody who's been on here has called something that was going to happen in this episode, and it may not have happened exactly the way we said it, but something similar, to what we said would happen in the episode. I thought that was kind of funny.
The puddle monster.
I'm gonna start off broad. I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but I'll start off broad. I did like the episode. I thought it was a very well made episode. I do have a couple of problems with it, however. For one, I hate to say it, I really do, but I'm gonna be blunt. The Master didn't need to be in this episode.
Right. Hey, Jimmy.
Nothing really.
Hey, Jim.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
All right, we're live. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
So and I said this to you off air. You could have really taken him out of these last two episodes, and you probably would have had the same thing. The him being in disguise leading Bill around, that could have been a completely new character, and really it wouldn't have changed much. I did like the dynamic between Missy and the Master for what we saw. I wish we could have seen more of that, but I'm surprised that we didn't see at least one of them start to regenerate. I was very surprised about that.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only other issue I had was ending really as hell-bent. Still traveling with Cap on, flying around. And they're traveling together. It's the same thing as Clara and Ashilda,
right?
Traveling around. It was like the same beat. So that I was kind of like, okay, you couldn't have come up with anything else. Other than that, I thought it was good. I thought it was a decent episode. I think maybe this might be one of Moffat's better season finales because it tied some things up. It left some things open for the Christmas special. And I wasn't bored watching it. So, I thought it was good. Not great. It was good.
Okay. I'm going to go with Sally.
Yeah, pretty much what Chris said. The Master didn't really need to be in this episode. We didn't really see him that much. And the ending, I'm like, really? We're doing Clara again?
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it was really good. One of the better finales, I think.
Okay. Jimmy?
It was okay. I have to say, Pearl Mackie, her acting was just terrific. And as an actress, I think at least in New Who, she was probably the best actress as a companion. Even better than Catherine Tate. And of all the actresses and actors they had as companions in New Who, I think she blows them all away. Not just in this episode, but throughout Series 10. I have to say that about her. But this episode particularly, I think, showed anyone that didn't like her, I think they'll have if they're honest, they're going to have to change their mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Master didn't have to be in it. Although I didn't actually think of that until they brought it up. That the Master didn't have to be in it. It's flawed in some ways in that with continuity, that the Cybermen were immediately supposed to not feel pain, not feel emotions. And for some reason, but it didn't happen with Bill. the tear, once again, it's a tear that saves the universe. It's a leaf that saves the universe. It's going back on the same old thing. I don't know if Moffat's trying to give it to the viewers. It was lesbian love that saved everything. Now I could see why they didn't show the Master regenerate, because it leaves it open for John Sims to return. But we do know, at least we think we know, that when the Master does regenerate, it will be Missy. But Missy will not be the Missy that died. It would be the regenerated Master who, well, maybe not, because Missy will have the memories of what happened now.
No. Well, here's the thing with that. She didn't even remember.
Right.
If she was the direct descent.
But she said it was all
time distortion, right? Because of them both being there together was canceling each other out, and she might not have the memories. But it is an opening where maybe he does regenerate into someone else,
right?
And then he becomes her, not directly after.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really want to say that right now you could say that that is possible. So I think that he does become someone else and then miss it. Now,
there's something that happened in the episode twice.
There was a line that I didn't understand. The line where Bill is in as a Cyberman saying, you do know that I like women, right? And that's like right before they're about to die.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
I wasn't sure what that meant. I thought it would that maybe she thought he was going to expect her to say "I love you" before, because it was going to be their final moments.
So he's like, "I love you as a friend,"
but she just said, "You do know it." Well, I'm glad. I like you for that.
I mean, it was disturbing. It was a very disturbing line.
There was two things that happened in the episode. Well, it happened twice. The Doctor holds Missy's hand for a long time, and again. And I thought, is the Doctor trying to give her a telepathic message? Is the Doctor trying to control her, to turn her? But they never acted on it. But they made a close-up on it twice, as if it meant something.
Like, in other words, he tried to put something in her head to be good, and then she said, "Hey, no, dude, I'm giving this back to you. Not going to work. I am good already." So it was like a thing, maybe, that, he was trying to put something in here to, like, give her a post-hypnotic suggestion to be good, but she was already good. So that's why she gave it back to him. He's like, "Look, I'm already going to do this. I'm going to kill myself." Like, meaning him to become her. Now, we all called that. It was like an obvious thing. The puddle monster's coming back. Master's going to kill himself each way. It would have been nice to see a double regeneration, but of course, I guess the budget didn't allow it. But the most confusing thing about this episode is that did John Sims Master hurt him where he had to regenerate, or was this been all the way around that he's been holding this back forever? Because he was hurt, he touched the tree, regeneration injury was about to come out. He's been trying to stop it, he's been trying to hold it back. So, I mean, I would like clarification on how long has he been where he's dying? Or was it just a battle when he was fighting Missy and the Master at the same time? What's up, Mike D?
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way, the Diva's here, so you must stop talking about any topic other than me since I just came in. So,
okay.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the finale. We were talking about the things that don't make sense.
There's one more thing about the finale. The very ending. The first Doctor, you hear him say something like, "Change, I'm not going to change." And I'm wondering if the Christmas episode, the 12th Doctor convinces the first Doctor to change, not the first Doctor convinces the 12th to change, but the 12th Doctor convinces the first to change. And I'm hoping this whole thing about Capaldi is leaving is just a big hoax.
Well, it's
just a big hoax they're pulling on us. And they're also, we know who's cast. Oh, we got the guy cast. And they don't have anyone cast. They have him cast.
Well, I think what happened was the fact that was the scene where he went ahead of his companions in the 10th planet. And he was like walking like afraid of his first regeneration. Thinking, oh, maybe I can control what I don't want to regenerate. I don't want to be someone else. and then the TARDIS brought him to himself to try to convince himself to move on and regenerate. So they both had to convince each other that they had to do what they had to do. And the first Doctor probably held back the regeneration, just like the 12th one's doing now. Being that he's the first of a new cycle, he's probably able to do what the first did, is hold back the regeneration energy. So maybe that's what they're trying to explain.
And in the leaked photo where the first Doctor has his arm around the blonde-haired girl, that blonde-haired girl is obviously Polly.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, what happened?
There's a leaked photo from the Christmas finale. And it's the first Doctor has his arm around the blonde-haired girl. Well, that's Polly.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even see that. But well, what do you think, Mike D? Of all the stuff that happened, I want you to give your assessment of the episode. Mike D? No? Okay. You there?
What?
I said, well, I was talking to you. I said, why don't you give your assessment of the episode?
Oh, I wasn't in the room. I was going out. I just got back. It sounded like you were going to do a cast much later, so I went to the Publix grocery.
Oh, gotcha.
And I popped on here. I'm going to go take a shit. I'll be right back.
Okay. Very nice. I'm going to edit that out. Anyway, what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So anyway, I honestly think that he made it very confusing. I mean, I like the episode. I want to like the episode, and I do like the episode. I give it, like, I say, a 8.5. You know? So it's not, it's a really good rating, but again, the whole thing with the ship, the whole thing with the TARDIS at one end, I mean, there's a lot of things that were confusing. That the Master did have a TARDIS. He blew, you know, it reminds me of that Master story where, I think it was in the Doctor Who magazine, where he was by a black hole and he was getting sucked into the black hole and he kept having to use up all his regeneration energy, which they tried to explain that, like, he used up all his incarnations after Roger Delgado, and then he was the decrepit Master because he tried to escape a black hole or something, you know? I think that was an old serial, might be from Doctor Who magazine, but that he went so fast that he blew the dematerialization circuit, which she just so happened to always have an extra one, which, you know. But then there's another thing: is Nardole Dorian Moldavar, or was he Dorian Moldavar?
There was a big hint that he was in the finale.
Yeah, like was it before, because he said he was blue, and now he's not blue.
Right.
But then he says, I'll run tables and I'll do things. So it's like, well, did he use up all his fortune to get a new body because he couldn't use his own? So then he was the former Nardole, and I guess he got depressed after a while because he wasn't rich anymore, and he was serving River, and it just became, well, it needs to be a new life, a new thing, and then now we may want to go back to what he's doing. Actually, I'm going to let you guys talk for a second. Just give me a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an interesting episode. It like I said, it wasn't spectacular or anything like that, but I mean, you know, there was one line that I don't know if you guys caught. You probably heard it. That kind of made me laugh because it was like, oh, of course they're pushing this. When John Sim was talking, he said, "Is the whole future just going to be women?" Yeah. And then Capaldi looked over and said, "Hopefully." I was like, "Oh, come on! How much more on the nose are they going to do this?"
Yeah,
like,
I caught that and go,
yeah.
It was powerfully acted. When the Doctor is giving that speech to the Master, you see there's the close-up of the Master, and you see the Master's eyes. It looks like he's going to tear up, and then you find out he's just as evil as he always was.
Yeah,
that was great. Was because the audience, the music, the audience is being pulled into thinking, yes, the Master's going to turn 2, and then look at this face. This is the face of someone who didn't listen to a word you said.
That was great.
That was great.
And I liked how Missy and the Master laughed at each other. They were enjoying the joke that they would both stab each other in the back.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, to wonder what's going to happen to Missy, because, I mean, he blasted her and he was like, yeah, don't even try to regenerate. So it's like, oh, okay.
Now, it was a a great accident that Bill happened to survive that explosion.
Yeah, right? I was thinking that too. I was like, how the hell did she survive? Everybody else got blown to pieces. Like, what?
Oh, wait a minute. She actually didn't survive. That's right. She died.
I mean, she was pretty.
She's in she's not really in an afterlife. She's just in a different form of existence.
Well, can I say, I don't know what you guys are talking about Missy. I don't know if anything was revealed other than when I saw the episode, but my knowledge of what I believe happens is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, okay? When John Sim regenerated, let's just say he became Missy. Let's just, for argument's sake, he becomes Missy, right? Right before the memory fades, he takes the TARDIS, he picks up Missy, brings her in the TARDIS, so there's two Missies, gives her a little spark of regeneration energy or something, and then drops her off somewhere on Earth where her memory's hazy because she don't remember what the hell is going. You know what I'm saying? That's why maybe the memory's hazy.
Yeah, but why would he do that?
Because on one hand, he put the last thought in her head was what he said, that I will never help the doctor. So that's the last words are in her head. So when she regenerates, she's not going to be the doctor's friend. She's just going to remember the last memory. So when Missy regenerates into a guy or whatever, she's going to hate the doctor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think just like the doctor held back remembering the war doctor. And you didn't know the war doctor existed. And until Clara went to his time stream, he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I made myself forget he exists. You know? So the whole thing is that her memory was hazy when she became Missy because when she became Missy, she still remembered to save herself that she just killed. So she gets her in the TARDIS. That's what I think's happened. Because at the end of the day, the Master is not going to kill himself. He loves himself too much. In fact, he was in love with himself. He was in love with himself as a female. He would have just Austin Powered that whole thing like number one did or number two did with number two. Like, really. So, like, it was just crazy, sick, twisted mind that he is. He loved himself. So, he does love himself. So, when he became Missy, he picked up Missy. Not that I'm trying to be... I'm not sure... Okay. John Simmons to Missy, picked up Missy that's dying in the TARDIS, gave her a spark of regeneration to start it, just like the Doctor did to River to heal her hand, just enough to give it like a jump start for her regeneration. And then he dumps her somewhere. Okay?
Maybe. I mean, who knows? I don't think we have enough information to speculate about what happened to her afterwards, because all we know right now is that I don't think she's dead, but we don't know. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with her or John Sim. What I was saying before you came back was, we were talking about, did you catch that line that John Sim said where he was like, oh, what, is the future just going to be all women? And then the Doctor said, hopefully, or something like that. And I was like, okay.
Nice, Mom.
Especially
the line about Donald Trump, too. Like, really.
Yeah. Everything's inevitable, like Trump.
Right. So, like,
and I thought that it was useless to say that line because none of the aliens know who Trump is.
But the running, you know what the running joke is? Yeah, I know. The running joke is of this season is that every chance she got, a lot of times, which it didn't make sense or not, Bill said at the worst times, "Hey, I like women. I'm gay." It's about to blow up and die. It's not like, thank you for everything, Doctor. I know you tried your best. I love you like a friend. She's like, you do know I still like girls, right? And it's like, why are you saying that as a Cyberman, about to die? It makes no sense.
It would have been great if the Doctor was like, I don't care. Like, what?
Like, are you, like, what? Right. So, and then Nardo was just bizarre that the Master and Missy knew him. Like, yeah, he still don't like you. Like, what is that about? Is there a club that I don't know they're all
I think maybe what John Sim was, I don't think John Sim knows who Nardole is. I think what he was doing was just trying to make Nardole feel bad, and then Missy just happened to do it as well.
No, I don't think that at all. I think they do know who he is. Because
I don't know where you're getting that from, but I mean that's
first of all,
the way I interpret it.
They would chill with each other. Nardo was chill with them, and they would chill. Nardo. with the master, John Sim. They were too chill.
Yeah.
Too relaxed. Like, oh, you're an ass. And then, like, give me the controls. And it was too much of a friendship. Like, they knew who he was.
I don't know. I didn't interpret it like that.
I got that impression, too. Like, they worked with him before.
Right. Like, he gave Missy a Vortex Manipulator, too. As Dorian Moldovar.
Well, Missy, I can understand. That I can understand. I don't think he knows. Like, I think he knows who John Sim is, but I don't think that they've had some sort of relationship prior to that.
I think there was. If he's Dorian Moldovar, he sold a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it came across.
Well, if he's Dorian, then yeah, of course. But
Oh yeah.
But if it's not, then he's somebody else. Maybe he's a Time Lord. Maybe not.
Now, there was a scene where the Master asked Misty, do you think it would be right if we, and Misty said, no. And,
meaning that having, you know what?
I thought, they should have. And then she should have gotten pregnant, and they would have the son of the Master, and it would be like 3 times as evil.
Moffat's sick, twisted mind.
Yep.
My mom and my dad are the same person. But hey,
I'm like as evil as them, and
it's like, well, I don't want to bring a religious thing into it, but the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Whatever. Okay.
It'd be the diabolical trinity.
Right.
The doctor is up against the son of the Master.
Right. What's up, Mike D?
Hey, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, it was great, man. You ever tried to feeling like you're trying to pass a pine cone out of your ass?
Okay. No, but okay. All right, so what do you think of the Doctor Who episode?
Fucking great. It's about what I thought of taking a shit.
All right. What do you think of the Doctor Who episode?
Well, you asked me. I answered you. I thought
you really thought it was... You did? Why?
It was just too sappy. The music was sappy. The whole thing about the bull... It was like a Steven Spielberg, like, predictability fest of, like, bullshit. The typical tropes that you would expect. Moffat ripping himself off. Time of the Doctor. I haven't heard any of your reviews.
Yeah, my blood.
I'm just saying specifically... I haven't talked to anyone actually even about this episode, so I don't know if you guys have already covered this ground, but... I
mean, I covered it. Here's the thing. I went into it, and I'm, like, thinking that, you know, everything we all said, Puddle Monster returning, the Master killing himself, Bill getting restored, all this stuff, I had it in the back of my mind, and I'm watching the episode, and I'm like, I don't think they're going to show them regenerate. I don't think they're going to show this. I don't think they're going to show that. And then I'm watching it, and I'm like, there was a few surprises that I had, like the whole is Nardole Dorian Moldovar type of thing, but they're not really saying, but they are because he was blue before. And then the fact that the Master and Missy knew him, like, and they would chill with each other. So I was like, eh. And then there was other things that just boggled my mind, like when Moffat had speech for his
I thought your question was, what did I think about it, not you.
Well, you said you didn't know what anybody said, so I said I'm going to rehash. If you heard what I just said, I'm going to rehash what you missed.
No, it wasn't a question. I was making a point, saying I haven't heard what anyone has said. So
right, and that's what I just said. I'm going to rehash it for you.
Mimic them. Oh, okay. Well,
that's what I said. I'm going to rehash it for you. So
all right. Well, all that stuff I don't really care about. The episode was pretty. I just thought it was pretty stupid, actually. And then at the end of it, they had like the companions, like the thing where they kept showing the different companion reactions, saying Doctor and all that. I mean, I thought that was kind of trite a bit. I mean,
they tried to trick us to think that he's going to regenerate right there and then, and he didn't. That's what I thought that it was.
Well, but we knew that wasn't going to happen because Capaldi's going to be in the Christmas special, so we knew they weren't going to do that.
Well, we know that, but not everybody's in the know like us. There's people that don't look for the news and they just watch it.
Yeah, well, they're troglodytes then, because most everyone else is interested in seeing what the spoilers are, or they have some idea because they read Doctor Who news or whatever. I mean, anyone who didn't know Bradley was coming back is a fucking idiot, I guess, because there's no way for you not to know. But it was a waste of John Sim. I think that John Sim, although he looked cool and he had a couple of like interesting scenes, overall he suited no purpose whatsoever. They just like Moffat, they just put somebody in the episode just to have people talk about it when it's just a plot device. There's no reason to have him in there.
I don't get why they didn't have any reaction between Bill and the Master. That how could she not be pissed that, you know, he did that to her and not be betrayed by it. Like, it was not one line of dialogue at all. It was just like, oh, I'm not upset or something, and it's like, I don't know, man. And then her tear gave him a little energy to regenerate because it was the alien thing to begin with.
And that's stupid. That to me was pretty stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. That, like I said, that was just like, oh, the leaf saved us. Oh, the tear saves us. Where there's tear, there's hope. You know?
Well, how many times did they have? They had different things in the episodes where they had like the one person saving the universe, you know, through a leaf or through. I mean, like Craig was a Cyberman and unconverted himself, and that's even more advanced technology than this. You know, because she's she's the one of the first Cybermen, and Craig was made into like, I guess, a 4th or 5th style Cyberman, and then reverted back. So I mean, you know, I don't know.
Were they trying to end the episode where they were indicating that they were on, like, basically, like, in the midst of the episode, the 10th planet?
I believe that was definitely the 10th planet, that he was walking ahead of his companions. He was worried about his first regeneration. He didn't want to change his face, and that's why he's saying, I don't want to change my face. And I think that the TARDIS brought him to himself. So they both, as a reminder, know that they have to progress and move on. Although there's some other threat now that the cloister bells rang, which that the TARDIS probably didn't foresee. So maybe somebody else is after them to affect the timeline. Like to me, I'm thinking that as the first Doctor, he was holding back the regeneration energy in the 10th planet. And because Capaldi's the first cycle, he has that same ability, but all the other Doctors won't be able to hold back the regeneration. Because then it'll become too much of a plot device for different things. You know? I mean, that's what I got.
I'm trying to figure out what they could do in a Christmas special, because if this is in the midst of the 10th planet episode, then it's like, what are they going to do to explain the interim period of time that occurs between?
Well, David Bradley is going to go in the TARDIS with Capaldi, take off, and then he's going to probably come back and be in the TARDIS. He's probably going to get hurt in the episode, worse, and then he's going to, maybe he wasn't going to regenerate when, well, no, he was saying that in the episode. He doesn't want to change. But must be something happens that after the end of the adventure, he goes back to his TARDIS, and Polly and Ben, they just wanted to say goodbye to everybody. So they were like, you know, because they don't want to not say goodbye. And then they finally catch up to the Doctor, and he's there already, you know? That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they were doing on that. Well, wasn't it like a World War I time?
You know what it is? The Doctor's like, we got to go right now. We got to go right now. And they're like, but we want to say goodbye to everybody. No, let's go. So they probably just say goodbye to everybody. That's what I'm thinking, because there's no way an old man's going to be running ahead of his young companions to the TARDIS. So they were probably dilly-dallying, you know, like in the 60s. Oh, bye. Not just being rude and dumb, you know? And he probably was already out there talking to Capaldi, his 12th Doctor, off on an adventure, come back a second after they left, and then he's in the TARDIS for dinner. So
wasn't there some time in the 10th planet when the Doctor was actually like in the, like, he wasn't around, he was just kind of like out of...
Yeah, he was laying in the bed. Yeah. He was laying in the bed. They took care of everything.
Because William Hartnell was sick.
Everyone knows that.
And so there was a time where he wasn't in the episode, and this Christmas episode may explain what he was doing during that time.
Well, that's the point I'm making, yes.
Now, here's the thing. It could be before the 10th planet, maybe, or not. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe they can make it where he's on an adventure with his companions, with Capaldi, and then he goes to the 10th planet, and he's kind of feeling weird, and they don't know he's hurt. But I'm thinking it's after the 10th planet when he's walking back to the TARDIS by himself. That's what I think. But I could be wrong. You know, I don't know. But I don't know why he's over this thing. Why does he want to change his face? Like, he doesn't want to die, but he doesn't want to change his face. Is that what it is?
I think he just doesn't want to regenerate.
But he doesn't want to die, though. He just wants to be able to be himself and keep himself and remember everything.
It's like he took a step backwards. Like he regressed back to David Tennant, and because Matt Smith was okay with it, he was like, you know, hey, I'm gonna regenerate. But it's almost like he took a step backwards and was like David Tennant, like, no, I don't want to do this.
Well, they were
Why?
in him for a couple of seconds because he said, I don't want to go, because he's remembering when he was David Tennant, and he's remembering when he was Matt Smith. I will remember. So he's like, oh, when I was them, I didn't want to regenerate, and now I don't really want to regenerate, so no, I'm not going to. It's like,
And more.
Well, Matt Smith was okay with it.
well, he was and he wasn't, I think. You know?
David Tennant, doctor, explained to Donna's grandfather that it's sort of like dying.
Right.
And so I don't think Capaldi's doctor wants to sort of like die. I think he wants to remain.
Yeah. But that's not the rules, I guess, for the regeneration. You can't just do that. Well, once in a while, you can cheat it with the receptacle with the hand and put it in it, but that probably can't happen more than once anyway.
Well, there's a problem with this whole thing too. I mean, you know, as they explained in Deep Breath, well, not Deep Breath, but the girl who lived, or whatever that episode was called, where he said, "Why did I choose this face?" Well, if he's so upset about not wanting to change his face, why doesn't he just regenerate into a form that looks exactly like Peter Capaldi?
Because maybe he can't really control it.
Yeah. It doesn't seem that the doctor can control his regenerations, unlike Romana.
Well, this is the problem. Like we don't know for sure, because in the other one he said, "Why did I choose this face?"
Because Moffat contradicts himself, and then he.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my point, though. That's the problem. We don't know what level of like how much he can control this. So if he chose this face that he's currently in,
which he didn't, I'm telling you right now, he did.
But we've been told that he did.
Well, he did. But he's been wrong about things before, like he almost killed the human race in Smile.
Well, they didn't explain that though.
It's not the character. It's the fucking writer who's the sloppy writer. It's Stephen Moffat. We're trying to fill in the plot holes with stuff when there aren't any. It's just shit writing. Is what it is.
Yeah, nothing gets explained.
Yeah, we've been saying that this whole season.
We never knew that the doctor could control his regeneration until Capaldi did that fake regeneration.
Which, who's to say that wasn't even regeneration energy at all? But now it must be. Because
when he was trying to fool the monks, remember Bill shot him, and he starts to die, and then he does that regeneration, and it was a fake.
But maybe it really wasn't. Maybe
what typically caused this regeneration then?
I think when that Cybermen grabbed him and electrocuted him, I think that's what they were trying to imply. But
right.
But then.
But I thought it was the Master stabbing him. Didn't the Master stab him or something? Because he was bleeding and stuff.
No, he was just getting beaten up and walloped by him.
They were both beating him up? All right.
Well,
yeah.
Cyberman was throwing him around too, right? Or was it just the two of them?
And there's another thing.
If you can't beat up Missy and John Sim, I mean, he's a bit of a pipsqueak. And I mean, she's, I mean, if you can't handle them, I mean, what a pussy the doctor must be.
But you know what gets me? He does his epics. He's about to say a nice speech to Cyberman.
He knows Venusian karate. He knows Venusian Aikido. He should have kicked their ass.
But he got.
That's right.
Remember in the Impossible Astronaut, how when they showed when he's in the middle of regenerating, if you shoot him, he can't regenerate?
Yeah.
So, like, they kept shooting him. Like, seriously. Did Moffat undo what he fucking created?
And then he blew that floor up.
From the regeneration
he should really
energy.
Be dead.
Like, he ignited the regeneration energy. So, like...
Well, and, of course, like, he's barely scuffed whatsoever. Everything else has, like, been, like, burned to a singe. And his outfit's completely intact. It just looks like he's got, like, a little bit of coal that was dumped on him or something. He rubbed it on.
But did the regeneration energy heal his clothes, too? Is that... Or no? No, I'm saying, I mean, like, does it do that?
If you're gonna blow
that's something Moffat would do. That's definitely something he would do. But
that's true.
Why? Listen, the clothes always fit him. So maybe it regenerates the clothes to his size.
Well, that would be incredibly stupid. But
yeah, that'd be dumb.
He's changing clothes. He changes out of clothes though and stuff. So.
But they're all different size doctors. Some are taller, some are smaller. But yet they completely fits them though.
Yeah, look at the second to the third doctor.
So,
the doctor came out of the TARDIS wearing the second's clothes. How did he keep fit?
Right.
John Pertwee's like 6 foot something, and
right. And regeneration's a tailor too now.
Well, Pertwee stole his clothes though from the guy that fit him. the doctor, not the doctor, but a doctor at that clinic he was at in Spirit from Space. So he didn't actually have to get clothes out of the TARDIS.
No, but Tom Baker's clothes.
No. When he first appeared, he's wearing Charlton's clothes. How could Charlton's clothes
out of the TARDIS? Well, when they had McCoy, his regeneration from Baker into McCoy, it's like, he was wearing Colin Baker's outfit, and he towers over Sylvester McCoy.
Right, so the regeneration energy is tailoring the clothes now, too.
Well, my point is it didn't work because the clothes were still too big for McCoy.
Oh, they were? Okay, they changed it? Right, wow.
He changed out
I don't know. All I know is that I'm just so confused now. I can't even speculate on regeneration energy anymore because I have no idea what's happening. Like, the laser screwdriver just made a setting where it's too much to regenerate. He's like, don't even try regenerating because you can't. It's like, all right. Like, I don't understand any of it. Moffat just contradicted himself in every way possible, and now nothing makes sense.
Well, I mean, that thing did have a setting that rapidly aged the Doctor, so, I mean, that's just another thing that's one of the magic things that they have that, it could do anything until we explain what it can actually do.
Well, it's kind of like Batman's utility belt. Batman's utility belt in the TV show. He always had, like, something specific for, like, whatever was going on, like anti-shark repellent was one of the capsules. Yeah. He just happened to have that. Like, you would need that living in the middle of Gotham City, right?
What was the thing with the Doctor grabbing her hand? What was that about?
Well, I liked her stabbing John Sim in the neck. That was cool.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a wasted character. There's no reason to have him in that. He didn't suit any purpose. I mean, think about it. He didn't. It was just...
Why would he go back to talk to himself when he knows he can't trust himself? Like, why would he do that? You know? That goes what a scum he is. The master. He'll kill himself. You don't even care. It's like crazy. Like, wow.
Well, that would be...
he wanted to kiss himself.
A previous Doctor try and kill one of his past selves would be cool.
Like the Valyard. But anyway, we already did that.
Colin Baker go back and try and choke somebody or something.
Jesus. He tried to kiss himself. He tried to do other things. What the hell is going on? What is Moffat thinking? What was he thinking when he made this episode?
Well,
I liked it, but I gave it like an 8.5, an 8 maybe. Maybe I'm going to go down to an 8, I think.
I gave it like a 5.
I know.
It's much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be awful. Right? And it turned out much better than I thought. And I think mostly that's due to the acting, really.
Yeah, Pearl Mackie was out of the park. She was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked her in this. But I guess she's going to be in the Christmas special as well. I guess she wants to be human. And
he's going to start crying, and she's going to show up. Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch.
You're probably right.
What was the point of Nardole this whole time, too? I mean, he just didn't suit any purpose.
He's Dorian Moldovar. Well, didn't you get that?
No, I didn't even think of that. I was bored to death. It was just so, like, just so lackluster. Moffat just writes like shit. And I mean,
did you hear the lines he said? He says, now if you make me in charge, I'm going to have a gambling ring. I'm going to have this like I did before. And the lines that the master said to Nardole, like they knew each other. He's like, oh, he don't like you. And he's like, whatever.
Chris was the one that called that whole thing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Chris must have some insider news from BBC.
Yeah, I'm actually Moffat's assistant.
Right.
I report everything that you guys say to him, and then we joke about you every night. Yeah.
Another thing I didn't like was it's an advanced civilization, and the settlers, all they have is like super shotguns. They should have had laser guns or something like that.
Well, we didn't get to see the 70s and 80s Cybermen. Just they skipped. What is it, budget-wise? Like, what the hell was the big deal? You know, I thought we were going to have all the Cybermen what they look like. I guess not.
I did crack up laughing when the puddle monster showed up again.
I knew that shit was happening.
I thought of you, and I started laughing.
I was waiting for that shit. I'm like, fuck this fucking puddle. I knew it. I was like, fucking shit, man. I fucking knew it.
When I was watching that, I was wondering, I wonder if Joe's seen this episode yet.
Oh, shit. Puddle monster. Superhero didn't save the day.
Shit. How powerful is that puddle monster, too? Apparently she has the ability to not only, like, save people from being Cybermen, but fly the TARDIS. And...
Yeah.
Like she's like a cosmic being. It's ridiculous.
Explain that. Yeah, that was stupid with her.
We have like people that can't fly the TARDIS from now on. I like it better that way.
Oh, and by the way, Moffat ripped off himself again. Like literally one season later with the same. That's what happened with Clara with the Shilda. You know, they go off together. Moffat fucking sucks. He just fucking sucks.
I mean, Family of Blood, like with the Scarecrow. It's like, really, dude? Like, could you just do something that's original?
Yeah, I mean, like Quit.
Well, he is. And again, I'm not hating on the episode. I did like it, but I just don't want everybody to know how to fly the TARDIS. I don't want everybody to like. We just like, I don't even know why he's acting the way he is. They just want to change his face.
Well, you know what confused me too? Like the puddle monster, this time she's talking like normal, but last time she was like a zombie.
Right.
It's like, what changed?
Now, was it the puddle in her that made her stay Bill, or was it Bill being Bill? Because that confuses me too now. Because I'm like, oh well.
Don't look for any.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe I'm not because
you know by now what is it like we joke about every fucking cast we do that our theories are a lot better than what the writing actually.
But we predicted the whole thing. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
We predicted the whole damn thing.
It's because we've seen Moffat write this before. He's done other episodes. You know, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You're about to die. You're a fucking Cyberman. You're like, you know I like girls, right? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Mom?
Again,
what the fuck?
Cybermen are not male or female. They're just Cybermen. They're called Cybermen, but they're not male or female. They have no sex. So that's taken out of them, but not her.
Right. It's like Moffat just had to say one more time.
Here that the Cybermen didn't take her over or something.
Moffat only did that because he wanted the new fans that didn't even watch the season, that they just came in for the finale. Because some people do that. They just, oh yeah, I'm gay, you know that, right? And they're like, oh, she's gay.
That shows you the power of being gay. It breaks through the cycle.
No, but it's
like, because if they didn't know that, they wouldn't understand the ending. Then
it's like you're about to die. You really need to. Why don't you say, hey, thank you, doctor, for everything. Yeah, even though you screwed up this time and I became a Cyberman, but whatever. But it's like,
you know I like girls. You know I like girls.
I'm like, what? And he's even Capaldi's like saying to himself, why the fuck do I got to react to this line? That's the stupidest. He's like, why is he putting this in here? He's even like rebelling against it, but he's like, okay, like whatever. Like
he just went, yeah. You know that, don't? Yeah.
Right. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, after there's maybe there's a contract that they can't talk bad about Moffat and it's over after 10 years, he's probably going to say, like, what the fuck? That line. What?
You know, it'd be funny if DVD commentary, you find out that was an ad-lib by Pearl. And that's why Moffat's reaction was, huh? Yeah.
The greatest thing was, though, that I really loved was Capaldi's giving his epic breakdown performance as a doctor, talking to Johnson's master. He's like, you see this face? I'm not paying attention to anything you're saying.
That was a great line because he's
like, I don't give a shit. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm so sick of hearing how sanctimonious the doctor is sometimes.
Right. He's like, I don't even give a shit what you're saying.
Shut up.
I'm not even going to kill you because you just pout. It's whatever, man.
What do you think,
I'm going back to my TARDIS.
What do you think the 10 out of 10 cast is going to say? They going to have anything bad to say about this? Or are they going to be slobbering all over it?
I don't know.
Are they allowed to say anything negative about it?
No, they don't like what I like for some reason. When I like something, they usually don't like it. So I don't know. I'm thinking they're going to hate it. I don't know.
I think the Delgado doctor would have tried to save the doctor. The first master, the Delgado master. I think he would have tried to save the doctor.
Ainley would have been like a little weasel and run off.
Because the Delgado master and the doctor, which was Pertwee, they actually seem to respect and actually even like each other.
Yeah, he probably would have saved him, and then he would have gloated. Oh, guess who saved you? Like me, you know. And
Well, actually, had Delgado not died in that accident, his character was going to die saving the Doctor.
Right.
He was going to give up his life for the Doctor.
That line that Missy said to John Sim when she threw him up against the wall there, about the dematerialization circuit, was she referring to that moment, like coming full circle, or was she referring to the Ronnie?
No, she was talking about right there and then when she threw him against the wall. Because
something similar happened with that in Mark of the Rani, is why I thought it was a callback to that episode.
Yeah, I thought it was a callback to the episode, and again, it shows. You say that Missy can't remember the Master or anything, and yet she remembers what happened to the Master there.
Well, it's a timey-wimey thing. It's kind of messed up. Like she said, it's just something remembers. Some things she remembers, some things she doesn't. Right.
Yep.
What's up, Scott?
All I can say is, who called it? Who called it about Bill?
Who didn't call it? We called everything on it. What's happened this season.
Scott, you know that Bill is gay, right? I think she said it right before she was about to start.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, Kai, think about it. All right.
Oh, Bill's gay. Can you believe that?
No, come on. Next you're going to tell me Siegfried and Roy is gay.
So now the Cybermen are going to be hunting the Doctor and the Master throughout the universe, looking for. Oh, so is that the new Time War now? Now the Cybermen are going to go after the Gallifreyans?
That would be interesting.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if Bill's gay and she was a Cyberman, does that mean that she has to use a different bathroom than the other Cybermen?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, that could be a new war now. That the Cybermen go after Time Lords because they're programmed to go after Two Hearts.
A new time war.
That could blow up in the Doctor's face that he's the cause of
a new time war.
Yeah. Kind of screwed up there, baby.
Scott's hair survived the Time War.
That's right.
So now, is Dorian Moldavar Nardole or not? Or was he,
that's what I'm judging about.
Reminds me of that movie, what was that movie with Ryan Reynolds and Ben Kingsley? Is that what it was? Southwest? Like he got the body of...
Yeah.
So maybe Moffat watched that. So like, could it be that Dorian, for all his riches and fortune, purchased the Nardole body, and then in Nardole form, he lost all his fortune, so he kind of got...
Why the hell would you purchase Nardole's body?
Yeah, why would?
I'm sorry. He purchased a body. Listen to me. Let me explain.
He got ripped off.
Let me explain.
I'd want my money back.
Right, I know. Listen. It turns out that all his money could afford only what this guy looked like, which was Nardole, right? Just hear me out. So that's all he can get. He's poor. Mm-hmm. He's working for River. He's working for Hydroflex, trying to get his fortune back. And then he loses his head again. And then when the Doctor reattaches it, he's like, oh, you're Dorian Moldavar. Like, he finds out, and it's like, then it's coming out where, you know what, maybe I should go back to what I was doing and be that person without looking like it.
I think they were just subconsciously stealing from a character that they had used before, because they're not going to go into all that detail and complication to explain all that shit. I wouldn't be surprised if we never saw nor heard of Nardole again. He's just gone.
Could Nardole be Drax, the Time Lord? That was a mechanic and fixed
No, I don't see him as Drax.
No?
I don't see Drax. No.
That he went to school with the Doctor a little bit? No? Couldn't be
No, they didn't hint upon that even in the series.
Because I thought the other guy was going to be Drax, the guy that was looking through the TARDIS in Orient Express.
They're leaving it open. They're leaving it open so Big Finish can do stories with Nardole, and they can fill in the blanks.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be Nardole season. It's going to be the Nardole Adventures.
They'll have Capaldi do it with him, and they'll do fill-in episodes in between what happened.
You don't think he'll become the Doctor that fast on Big Finish, like right away after?
Well, I'm not saying right away. I'm just saying eventually. I think now what they're doing is they're purposefully writing things in an open-ended way sometimes, to where they just are allowing fill in the blank, like little episode adventures in between the official episodes that were shown on TV. They're just giving room to throw that shit in there so that they can
wiggle room.
Yeah, they can just pad it out later and just sell more merchandise.
I will say this much: I like the way they ended with Bill and Heather than they did with Clara and Miss Forehead. I like this departure.
Maisie Williams.
Yeah,
so is that ship destroyed now or no?
No.
No.
I don't think it is.
Just a couple of floors?
Only a couple of floors were.
Well, because Nardol's on the ship, right, with the kids?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not destroyed.
And then the TARDIS.
Well, even he was like, "Oh yeah, I mean the Cybermen are going to find us eventually. I hope I can stop them."
Yeah,
like, oh, that's nice.
2,000 years to do so.
Well, maybe they're leaving it open like that so that they can have a future Doctor come back and visit Nardol and help rescue the children.
Nardol looked totally different.
They could have left the kids at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch with them.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring the children out.
All right.
I hope a future Doctor goes back there and like all the kids have been converted and like Nardol is like a printer, like he's like a fax machine or something. Yeah, yeah. They relegate him to being like a printer or a fax machine because he's not worth being a Cyberman.
Oh,
yeah.
That or VCR.
So you have small childlike Cybermen that are like, we will upgrade you, and I don't know why I did a Dalek voice there, and then the Doctor's like, wow, I really screwed the pooch on this one.
They're kicking Nardol's head around like a football. That's all he's good for.
What do you think's gonna happen in the Christmas special? Is there any villain in the Christmas special?
Are there?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Moffat's writing.
Why didn't we get an announcement on the 13th Doctor yet?
That's what I was waiting for.
They don't know who it is. That's why I'm hoping this whole thing of Capaldi leaving is a big hoax.
Can you imagine?
You know what they could? You know what they should do just to really piss everybody off? Like, well, I mean, it would piss us off.
Keep Moffat for another season?
No. The tear that Bill shed onto the Doctor, right? That should influence his regeneration, and he should regenerate into a woman.
No.
Just piss everybody off. Just do it.
No.
Just do it. Just piss us all off.
Wait, you're right.
Leslie Jones.
That's why she told him she likes women. She was saying, "Yeah, you're going to become a woman."
So in the future, you'll meet me again, and boy.
No, she said I like girls, so he'll become a girl.
Oh well.
He'll be a 20-year-old lesbian girl.
We're not going to be doing speculations on this. No.
I think I've seen that porn before.
No. All right. On that note,
he's gonna have stars in his eyes like the puddle monster. Watch.
20-year-old black lesbian girl.
Yeah, he's gonna have a tramp skin like a
transgender Doctor.
He's gonna open the door of the TARDIS and go, "Hey,
sit it down. Let's take it down 5,000 notches, please. Let's go down a little bit. Calm down.
Why do you think they haven't announced it yet? They're waiting. It's gonna be like a Christmas present.
Meaning I kissed a girl.
The Ukrainians are an advanced civilization, millions of years old. Are all transgendered.
But the people are in rags and they don't have money and they have no food to eat. But yet their other ones are in a castle. All right.
Time Lord chicks with dicks.
Oh, stop! That's it. That's it. Take care, bye for now. That's it. Take care, bye for now.